How you all doing? I'm Louis C. Gross II, educational consultant for MSI, Manhood Shelter. Here you go. Black self-esteem, described by W.E.B. Du Bois, co-founder of the NAACP. Did you know that? The double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others, of measuring one's soul by the tape of a world that looks on in amusement, contempt, and pity. One ever feels his trueness, an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two unreconciled strivings, two warring ideals in one dog body, whose dog strength alone keeps it from being torn under. Being torn under. In other words, it's always like we have to do double in order to prove ourselves. And, it's been going on forever. You get a job, you got to prove that you're the best, especially if it's, if it's diversified. And you even work hard, even as a policeman, you got to do more to prove to the Irish that you can do the job. And it's unfair. And plus, it deals with your self-esteem, the value of worth one puts on oneself. But it also goes to self-concept, the images, ideas, and feelings one has about oneself as perceived through others' eyes. We're always looking for validation. You be your own man and a woman, because you act like somebody else that you really aren't. Think about what I'm saying. Let me just show you this. Before Dr. King was murdered, he said to Harry Belafonte, "I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house." What did he mean by that? I fear I put my people into a burning house when we deal with integration. Look what's happening in Chicago. Jesus. Ray Charles can see what's happening. It's a shame. And then, these politics, don't get me wrong, I love Chicago. Oh, I love Chicago dearly. I was born and raised here. But what I'm getting at is the politicians. They're not doing anything to help us. Representation, taxation without representation. We're being taxed to death. Tax on bags, tax on pop, tax on garbage, tax on water. And what are you doing about it? And then, all these murders occurring, if the police are not killing our own, we're killing our own. Where do we go? And where do we go? Look here. Does Chicago need help after 7 killed in one day? See, I've told you from the outset that we were always understaffed in terms of police department, which put us at risk in terms of safety. And the people in City Hall knew that and kept moving on. Why do you think they paid Laquan's family all that money before the election? See, if you didn't know about the election, it was before the election. What, to quiet them down? But then, as Big Brother, 1984, George Orwell, with the cameras, came out, and you saw the truth. The truth. The truth is that you're being led down to the slaughter by a Judas goat. And those Judas goats, I think they might be in City Hall, making $117,000 a year. Now, I say all that to say this. It's affecting the school system big time. Oh yeah, by the way, Ron is being sued by state employees as well as Chicago public school system. As a governor, Jesus Christ, you come in dealing with the same policies you dealt with in terms of the healthcare organization that you had, that you were sued for millions of dollars, and you kept it under the table, and when a reporter brought it out, you had him fired, Ronner. Did you know that, public? Maybe you didn't, because, what do you care? They're doing you every day, and you do nothing about it. Let's forget marching. That's over. Start documenting. Start, send a postcard. Inundate the governor. Inundate the mayor, if you want to call him that. And that Mike Madigan, he's amazing. He had his daughter that pulled some stuff, and the courts threw it out. Gonna make sure that the state employees can get paid. What unmitigated gall? And what do you do? No, man, look here. Madigan and Ron, you don't need a panel. They always, hiring panels to figure out. Figure out what? Look here. Regarding school funding, it's simple. You both are on an ego trip at taxpayers' expense. You will hire some people to tell you what you already know. But see, those are your cronies. Yeah, don't forget the 14th Amendment. Equal protection under the law. That means that these schools, that our school system should be flourishing just like any other school system. Hell, it's the third largest in the nation. But yet and still, we're letting these politicians just drive us crazy. And by the way, people stop dealing with jobs and nothing. Like Du Bois was saying, as he was talking to Booker T. Washington, the founder of Tuskegee Institute, when he said that why we always got to be the farmers, let's become manufacturers, let's be entrepreneurs, let's do something. Rather than talking about, well, I'm waiting on this job. Hey, you see what's happening. Now, hey, one thing I will say about Mr. Trump, he is working on trying to get these jobs back into the United States. After the NAFTA that was put through Clinton, and outsourcing jobs all over to India and every other place but here, and then U.S. Steel should be coming back. I applaud him for that. Somebody had to do it. Obama didn't. Yeah. Let me say something. Cause you black don't mean nothing if you're not doing what you're supposed to do in terms of helping your people, and not all people, do what they, to a better life. We get hung up on, he's the first. No. Be about something. Be about something. I don't know, I talk to the kids every day. And a lot of them are disenchanted with their parents because their parents are either not in the home or not, giving them the attention that they need, so therefore they seek attention elsewhere. It's called displacement. If I can't get it here, I go there. And where do they go? To the street. To the street. And you see what's happening out there? And let me tell you about this. There was a 25-year plan. It started with Daley. Whereas they were going to get rid of the projects and turn it into what they got right now. That was the IIT. They're running it. Roosevelt Road, University of Chicago, University of Illinois is at Chicago. 63rd Street, University of Chicago. Don't you see? These are all the institutions that are running Chicago on the south side. Now, what do you think? They've leveled all the projects. Now you have gourmet shops, you have condos, all down State Street. At one point in time, it was from 22nd Street all the way out to 55th. It was projects, and that's what it was, a project. One way in and no exit. They should be suing it today because that was out of fire compliance, but nobody said anything. Your alderman, nobody said nothing about that, as they do now. And you sit there like you cool with it. Jesus, don't you see what's doing to your children? You got about 20,000 of them are homeless. I got a solution for that. I deal with shelters. I know how to put them together and make it so that I can deal with a shelter for young kids from 13 all the way up to 14, then segue them into an independent living program. So I have a group home that, which would be centered around education, which would be centered around adult living. You would prepare them for the independent living program, which then they would go into, finish school, go to college. That's what I want to do. But you see, you can't do that because you got people that are firmly entrenched with this political foolishness that just sucks it dry. Why do you think that the Board of Education is in the problems it is now? You got a CEO. You need a person that has a doctorate in education. Caller, you on there? Go ahead. Question or comment, caller.
Hey, good afternoon to you guys.
Hey.
How you doing? Hey, listen, you know what? I used to always say that once you have the people that's not able to afford to run the streets, they could living in the streets. Let's give these schools, let them have them, abandoned buildings. Let's move them in. But you know what? It's a master plan. They don't want them here. Yep. I've been telling people this for a little while. One day you're going to wake up and you cannot afford to live in Chicago.
That's right.
So people could still keep on running these streets and just drink their 40s and things with it, but they're going to take them up out the street and take them somewhere else because you don't have them.
And they won't even live in the alley. They're going to move them straight out of here. You're right.
Now, another thing you said that the GOATs, Ronner and our mayor and whatnot.
Well, and Madigan?
Yeah, they all doing a heck of a good job on us. But
yes.
Let me tell you, look what we got now. We got Donald Duck in Washington, and he's around there quacking and throwing eggs on everybody. He's
tweeting.
Care. I mean, pretty soon it's going to be the cartoon day.
Oh.
I mean, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. But let me tell you something. I don't care what people you say. I remember one time my son, I was walking down the street and I saw some coins on the ground. I picked it up.
Yeah.
And put it in my pocket. He said he's embarrassed. Why? I got more money than I had before I came out. I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to make sure my family is doing right and okay. And people who don't do it, you're going to be lost one day. You're going to wake up and you're going to think you in, I don't know where, but you ain't going to be in Chicago. Now, the main thing I want to tell you.
Go ahead.
Quit supporting Ryan's store. Why are you worrying about those Bears? Man, they're not going to do anything. The Sox, they're not going to do anything. Never support Ryan's store. Ryan's store, let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't go to one of those games for free anymore.
I know.
I used to be a diehard Bear fan, but we ain't going nowhere. And there you go, another thing. You see how people with money make you pay them some money? Look at you. You even got the shirt, the cap. Man, you better get you a Cubs thing and be okay. And then you be looking good. Louis, I always say you're doing a hell of a good job.
I love you. Thank you.
We appreciate you every Friday. So listen, let me get out there so you could still cry a little about all that material you got on you. And let me get out there so I can hear your response. And thanks for taking the call.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
All right.
Well, Stevie, I got to represent Chicago, man. I really do. Even though the Bears they only won 3 games this past season. But I played football in college, and I always liked Mike Dicker. So, even though he's a tough guy, he might be Republican or whatever. But as a coach, I think he's the best. But and the Cubs are pretty cool too. The White Sox, they're coming back. But the Bears, they got to spend some money. They have to spend some money. But getting back to what I was saying. We have a history in Chicago where they don't even acknowledge DuSable, Baptiste. They don't even acknowledge him, and he's the one that founded Chicago. I never will forget, I was at the library, and here's a woman talking about the history of Chicago, Caucasian. And so I never heard DuSable's name mentioned once, so I had to ask her, afterwards. I said, well, what about Point DuSable? I said, oh, you conveniently forgot that. No, stop lying all the time. This is, look at it. Remember I was telling you about the 25-year plan? Well, look what's happening. Like I said, look at State Street. Look at all where the universities are. Look what's going on. So it's like Steve said. Now, when we talk about displacement They already knew what was going to happen in terms of when we tear down the projects. Now, those folks have to move inland where other people already established. Now, here we go with this drug thing. I'm used to selling drugs in the projects. Now, since that's been dismantled, I come into the inner city and start trying to sell drugs. But hey, already these people are already established. So here you come in my territory. What do you think is going to happen? Which they already knew. And look what's going on. 7 murders in one day. And this person in City Hall is talking about Chicago this and Chicago that. You know what? I would be ashamed to even open my mouth knowing under my watch all this has occurred. You got rid of McCarthy. He told you not to do certain things, like ceasefire, $1.7 million going down the drain. Because look at it. Matter of fact, murders increased. See, that's the reason why you were ran out of the White House, because you don't listen. Remember what Einstein said? The thinking that caused the problem won't be the thinking that solves the problem. Remember that? Or do you read? Anyway, you know they always say intellectualism and the retreat from politics. As Patty Butler said, the famous alderman or whatever who used to, throwing money this way, throwing money that way, said Chicago ain't ready for reform. Well, you know what? That was back in 1922. And look what's happening right now. The same old thing. But what makes it so sad is that people of color won't send their kids to school, won't try and learn something so that they can, benefit and be productive citizens in this society. And let me just say this to my little kids. You can go to Olive Harvey and get a CVL. All you got to do is go to school and read. You learn how to drive a truck, and you can make a lot of money with a certificate. So sometimes you might not get a degree, but a certificate is just as well. There's cosmetology. There's Larry's, the barber college. This is where you can learn a trade and be successful. Because let me just say this. You can sell all the dope in the world till finally you get busted. Then at that point, all the money you made will go to that lawyer. It's like going to the dentist. You hide like I've been, and eventually you got to go see him. And when you do, he's taking all the money out of your wallet and it's going in his pocket. And hey, that's what happens when you neglect and don't do what you're supposed to do. Now let me say this: a lot of our children are in pain. That's a pain, I say. That's an acronym for poverty, abuse, ignorance, and neglect. When I say poverty, you don't necessarily have to have money in order to be deprived mentally and socially. It affects how you react to different situations. Cognitively speaking, you null and void because look at you haven't developed in this society or in your environment. Now, we first must have to learn to crawl before we can walk. Well, you know what? We've been crawling for a long time. And now emotionally, we've been traumatized. We've been traumatized till it's abnormal development. And socially, we can't even get along with ourselves, let alone somebody else. That's called interaction. But the most important piece of that whole situation is the last piece called moral development. Look at our morals. But then again, look at TV. Look at our politicians. Where are their morals? So if a kid doesn't see, the adults with morals, what do you think they think? So I asked a kid the other day, I said, what's the difference between a white lie and a black lie? Well, a white lie is like this and a black lie like that. Look here. Isn't a lie a lie? And shouldn't your mama or daddy told you that? See, we're living in a world of it's not reality. It's surreal. But you know what? You as the adult who has the power relinquishes the power. You relinquish it to your politicians. When you do not say anything about what's going on, you give them carte blanche. Look at the state senators. Look how they're doing this. They can't come up with a budget. This is ridiculous. You're getting paid to do this, and yet you can't do it? And I almost fell out of my chair when Ronner got to talk about the budget. You should have been ashamed. You should have, you know what, you should have let the woman that deals with Indian Sign Language just do the whole deal. You should have kept yourself somewhere and hid. And sir, don't you forget about term limits. Remember, you said it. Your term will be up pretty soon. So yeah, look here, don't forget. Now, between you and Madigan, you need to have some other folks come in and discuss this. When y'all, you two need to sit down and stop playing and see who's the biggest and get this deal done, because people, look, you know what? You had 29,000 students leave this state going to other states to get an education. 29,000. What's with that? Do your homework. And people, tune in to Channel 11 sometimes and find out what's really going on, with this city, with this state. It's one of the worst states in the world in terms of economics. And these guys haven't got a budget together in 2 years. This is astounding. This is amazing. But most importantly, it's amazing that you haven't done anything about it. That's what's really mind-boggling. Because look at it. I'm bewildered, befuddled, and bedazzled at apathy. Apathy. And your children see it. Your children see it and they act out in the behavior. Well, why is Timmy doing why? Yeah, the reason why is because of you. Get up off the couch and do something that's positive for your children. Carl, you're on there. Go ahead. Push your comment.
You know what? Another thing that's be bugging me. You be hearing them now. Even Donald Duck, he's even talking about he wants to alleviate these problems of the drugs and the things like that. Well, listen. And you the man, you should know. You, like I say, you ran a shelter. You know what it's all about.
Right.
The money is drying up.
Yeah.
If you don't know a lobbyist down there to get that grant, you ain't going to have anything. That's why people are walking around here, can't get their medicine anymore. They can't, their medical problems with their mental, they can't get their medicine. Let me tell you, it's a reason for everything that what happens here. It might not be in our lifetime, but trust me, at the end, it's going to be a reward. People, young people that could survive and keep their heads straight, go to school, get that knowledge that nobody can take away, make that money, save you some money, you're going to have a chance in here. But people that still walking around here with 20 inches of snow and gym shoes on their feet, but pants hanging down, you just could be
in the draft.
You're going to be a lost cause. But you're telling the truth, man. People just don't listen. And another thing, Danny Davis, he's one, he fights hard.
I know. I really admire him. I admire the congressman.
Yeah, why you think Haymarket is still over there? But again, people that need to want something, quit having somebody give you something. Expect people to give you something all the time. Get your budget.
Right, I agree. I agree.
And you make yourself feel better when you accomplish something yourself. Let me get out there again.
I got to say this. George Washington Carver, you know what he said? No individual has the right to come into this world without a distinct and legitimate reason for passing through it. What is your purpose? And what is your legacy? It's not what you take out of the world, it's what you leave behind. And what are you leaving behind? That's the question. Do you have the answer? By the way, if you feel as though you're running out of rope, tie a knot and hang on. Everything's going to be all right. Thank you very much. Peace.